You turn off the light. The room goes silent. The world should feel peaceful, but it doesn't. A small part of you tenses. You listen for sounds that aren't there. Your eyes open wider, searching the shadows for shape, for meaning, for threat. You tell yourself you're being irrational, that nothing is there. But your heartbeat doesn't listen. It thuds quietly, as if it remembers something you don't. Because the fear of the dark isn't childish. It isn't something we're supposed to grow out of. It's one of the oldest survival instincts humanity ever had, and it's still alive inside every one of us. We don't just fear darkness because we can't see what's around us. We fear it because, in darkness, we meet the oldest version of ourselves, the one that still hides in our DNA. Long before electricity, before cities, before even language, there was night. For millions of years, our ancestors lived by firelight. Beyond the circle of flame was a world of teeth and silence. Predators moved unseen. Snakes struck from the blackness. Eyes glinted in the bush, watching, waiting. When the sun fell, danger rose. Every instinct we have, the quickened pulse, the frozen breath, the prickle on the back of the neck, was shaped in those endless nights. Light meant safety. Darkness meant exposure. It was a simple equation that decided who lived to see another dawn. Anthropologists believe that the human imagination itself was forged by those hours after sunset. We learned to expect danger before it appeared, to imagine movement in the dark, to anticipate threat. That ability to picture what might happen was the beginning of imagination and of fear. Our ancestors evolved to treat every shadow as a possible predator. The cost of being wrong was a moment of tension. The cost of being right was survival. Over thousands of generations, that cautious mind became hardwired. Even now, when the lights go out, our bodies react before logic can intervene. It isn't weakness, it's history. The night didn't just shape our habits, it shaped our nervous system. We became a species built for daylight, but haunted by what waits beyond it. Science has given our fear a name. Deep inside the brain lies the amygdala, a tiny almond-shaped structure that acts as our alarm bell. When darkness falls and information disappears, the amygdala fires before we even know why. In light, our vision dominates. In dark, the world disappears, and the brain starts filling in the blanks. Every creak becomes a footstep. Every shadow becomes a figure. Every silence hides a breath. Psychologists call this pareidolia, the tendency to see meaning where there is none. It's why we see faces in clouds or ghosts in mirrors. Our brain was never designed for truth. It was designed for safety. When data is missing, imagination steps in. It creates stories fast enough to keep us alive. And those stories have never left us. Even now, when you wake up in the night and feel a presence in the room, your mind is doing the same thing it did for prehistoric hunters, predicting danger before confirmation. The modern world may be bright, but evolution doesn't update itself in a century. That instinct, the one that saved us from predators, now activates for empty hallways, basements, and strange noises from the next room. Our bodies still live in the wild, even if our minds pretend they don't. When people couldn't explain their fear, they gave it faces. Darkness became divine, personified, and worshipped. The Greeks feared Nyx, the goddess of night, so powerful that even Zeus avoided angering her. The Egyptians prayed to Anubis, guardian of the underworld, his black form protecting souls on their journey. Across the ancient world, the absence of light became a presence of spirit, both protective and deadly. Fire wasn't just warmth, it was a sacred defense against the unseen. Every myth, every ritual, every whispered prayer by the fire was an act of psychological warfare, humans building meaning to control the uncontrollable. By telling stories of what lurked in the dark, we turned raw fear into something manageable. You can fight a demon, you can appease a god, but you can't reason with nothingness. So our ancestors filled the dark with stories, monsters, spirits, ancestors, gods. Each one a mirror of human anxiety and imagination. Those myths were more than superstition. They were early therapy. They gave fear a language. Because what is mythology if not humanity's first attempt at psychology? Darkness wasn't just physical, it represented the unknown death, sin, secrets, the unconscious mind. And the same symbols still echo in our stories today. Villains hiding in shadows, truth revealed in light. The metaphors of darkness and light are ancient code written in the emotional DNA of our species. Then, something changed. For the first time in history, we pushed back the night not with fire, but with invention. The Industrial Revolution lit up the world. Gas lamps, street lights, then Edison's electric bulb. They didn't just change cities. They changed human sleep, work, and emotion. We had conquered darkness, or so we thought. Night was no longer a threat. It was a choice, something we could erase with a switch. Cities began to glow brighter than day, and we called it progress. But our biology didn't get the memo. The human body still depends on the rhythm of light, and dark the circadian cycle that governs hormones, emotion, and rest. Under artificial light, that rhythm fractures. The body stays alert when it should recover. Melatonin, the hormone of sleep, fades. Anxiety quietly replaces it. The world became safe, yet somehow more restless. Because while we were busy defeating the night outside, we awoke the night within. Psychologists now describe a strange paradox. In the brightest age of human history, fear and insomnia are at record highs. We built a world that never sleeps and a species that can't rest. The light that was meant to liberate us now blinds us from the calm our ancestors knew. And somewhere deep inside, an ancient voice whispers, "It's too bright. Something's wrong." Today, darkness isn't the enemy. It's the missing ingredient. When the sun sets, our cities glow, our screens flicker, and our minds refuse to slow down. We've replaced shadows with pixels, but the same nervous system still pulses underneath. Fear of the dark has mutated. It's no longer fear of predators. It's fear of silence. Fear of being alone with our thoughts. When there's no distraction, our minds wander, and not always kindly. Every unsolved problem, every suppressed emotion surfaces in the quiet. So we drown the silence with light, with scrolling, with endless noise. But the more we flee the dark, the louder it becomes. Researchers call this stimulus dependency, the need for constant sensory input to avoid introspection. It's why so many people feel anxious when their phone dies, or uncomfortable in absolute quiet. It's not technology's fault. It's evolution meeting overstimulation, an ancient brain trapped in a neon world. What once lurked outside the cave now lurks in the psyche. The shadows we avoid are no longer on the walls, they're behind our eyelids. Every fear, every insecurity, every unhealed wound waits for the lights to go out, and we've forgotten how to sit with them. Yet that darkness, the one inside, might be exactly where we're meant to go. Fear of the dark kept us alive, but it also gave us everything that makes life beautiful. It drove us to build fires, to create art, to tell stories that made the night less lonely. It's the reason we invented gods, torches, cities, and science. It's the root of curiosity, imagination, and progress, all born from one question whispered in the dark. What's out there? The fear itself was never the problem. It was a teacher, one that forced us to understand the world and ourselves. Modern life tries to erase that lesson. We flood every moment with light and noise, forgetting that growth often begins in darkness. Seeds sprout underground. Stars are born in the void. Human ideas emerge from stillness. The dark isn't an absence of meaning. It's the space where meaning begins. So when you feel uneasy in the dark, don't rush to escape it. Listen to it. The same silence that once signaled danger now offers reflection. It's the moment your ancient instincts meet your modern mind, both trying to protect you in their own way. In darkness, we see with different eyes. We hear our own thoughts louder. We notice the subtle things light hides. That's why so many people find peace in the night sky, staring into infinity. It's the oldest meditation we know, looking into darkness and realizing we're part of it. Fear of the dark was never about the dark itself. It was about the unknown, the possibility of what could be waiting. And that same curiosity is what built our entire civilization. Without darkness, there is no light. Without uncertainty, there is no discovery. So maybe the goal isn't to conquer the dark, but to coexist with it, to remember that fear and wonder were once the same feeling. The next time you switch off the light and feel your pulse quicken, don't rush to turn it back on. Breathe. Let the dark settle around you like an old story. Because your fear isn't weakness, it's memory. It's a whisper from the millions of lives that came before you saying, stay alert, stay alive. And as the fear fades, notice what remains, the stillness, the quiet hum of your mind, the faint glow of awareness inside you. That is the real light. Not the one in your room, but the one behind your eyes. Every sunrise humanity has ever seen was born from darkness. So maybe, deep down, that's what our fear has been teaching us all along, that even in the darkest places, we are never truly without light. Because darkness isn't empty. It's alive with everything we have yet to understand. And when we finally stop running from it, we remember that fear of the dark was never about survival alone. It was about awakening the beginning of consciousness itself. You're not afraid of the dark. You're afraid of what it reveals. And maybe that's exactly where truth lives. This is Originify, where we uncover the hidden origins of human emotion and remind ourselves that every shadow has a story. Keep wondering, and don't forget to turn off the light once in a while.